is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are St. Louis.
The pitchers for the St. Louis Cardinals in this series doing a little bit of everything. Getting the win and also getting hits and RBIs. Carlos Martinez, that double, and a sense of relief after a Game 1 win. Last night, the Cardinals turned to big number 50, Adam Wainwright. Uncle Charlie had it working, not only on the mound, but at the plate as he drives in 4. The Cardinals turn to the youngster, Luke Weaver, here this afternoon. Can they pick up a sweep? The Cardinals, the Rockies. Day baseball coming up on Fox Sports Midwest. This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And Cardinals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Beautiful day. It's the Rockies and the Cardinals playing in game number 3 here in Denver. And the Redbirds looking for a sweep. Jim Hayes is here. That's the Matt Hungarian Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Day Baseball. Cardinals playing well, winners of 4 straight, and today they'll turn to Luke Weaver.
Luke Weaver making his 8th Major League start. He's learned an awful lot by every one of them. Unfortunately, he's pitching on the road again, where he's found a tougher route, but he has learned in every start, coming off his shortest outing of his Major League career, and yet he's still never given up more than 3 earned runs in a game.
So Luke Weaver and that good changeup, good fastball on display here today, and he's back in the lineup this afternoon. Matt Carpenter leads it off when we come back. Colorado. It's game number 3 of this 3-game set. Cardinals looking for a sweep. Pitching, and the Cardinals have gotten that in this series. Carlos Martinez in game number 1 as he went 5 innings, did a lot at the plate. So did Adam Wainwright in game number 2, driving in 4. He lasted 5 1/3. The bullpen's been very good for the Cardinals. And today it's Luke Weaver making his 8th Major League start, a record of 1-3 against German Marquez. First ever Major League start is here today. Day baseball from Coors Field is coming up. Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. By Chevrolet. Visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Along with Jim Hayes and Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. 79 degrees here at Coors Field. This is a live look at Jose Martinez and Carlos Estevez. They are having a stare down. This is shades of Joe Kelly and Scott Van Slyke from the playoffs a few years ago. Both are just standing out there, and looks like Martinez getting some touch-up work on his cleats from Yadier Molina and Aledmys Diaz. And at some point, they will have to retreat in their dugouts, you would think.
We would hope. I'm not sure I understand it. I thought it was clever during the playoffs with Kelly and Van Slyke.
And now Estevez is wearing a catcher's mask. It's a stare down here in Denver. You could just feel the tension between these two teams.
Well, neither one of them is going to move. The umpires will make a move in a second. Maybe.
I don't think I've ever seen it go this far.
No, and now they're telling them to get off the field.
The home plate umpire is Chad Fairchild. And we're still waiting for the stare down to end.
Looking at Walt Weiss, home plate umpire, is like, what's going on? And now the crew chief is going to get involved.
You've never seen this, I presume.
I saw it,
but not like this.
No, absolutely. Jim Joyce, the crew chief, is telling them both to get back to their dugouts. Now they're telling the managers. I mean, I would find it within their rules to eject both of them.
Adam Wainwright right now is proposing that they do rock, paper, scissors.
That's to solve it?
Yes.
Well, we won the first game.
Well, congratulations to Jose Martinez in a moment he'll never forget.
Okay, let's win the second game with a doubleheader.
First pitch to Carpenter is a strike, and here we go. German Marquez, his first ever major league start. He will take the spot of Jorge De La Rosa in the rotation. He's a 21-year-old from Venezuela. September call-up, made his debut back on September 8th. Pitched 2/3 of relief against the Padres. He's made 3 relief appearances overall. Now, this guy is the Eastern League Player of the Year and Pitcher of the Year. He went 9-6 at Hartford, Connecticut, and I say at Hartford, Connecticut, although he never pitched there. Their Double-A affiliate. Never played a home game this year, not one. And there's a base hit by Carpenter.
They're building a new stadium there, and with the delays, that team, the Hartford team, had to play every game on the road.
The Cardinals lineup led by Matt Carpenter and a leadoff base hit. Now Aledmys Diaz, fresh off of doing the touch-up work on Martinez spikes. Then Jerko, Moss, Grichuk, Hazelbaker, Kelly, Wong, and Weaver. Now Diaz has been focusing on grip and forearm strength in the weight room. Had electronic stimulation last night. Still trying to come back from that broken bone in the hand.
Got the day off yesterday. Today it's Molina and Piscotty. They say Marquez has easy gas, you know, real free and easy upper 90s stuff, a very good fastball and curveball, and then the changeup is a work in progress, but he's only 21, like you said.
Here's a 1-1. Came over from Tampa Bay. Corey Dickerson going to the Rays. McGee coming back to the Rockies, and the Rockies would not make the move without including Marquez.
Yeah, they're starting to make some trades for young pitching, and they think they've got their future lined up now.
That's tapped foul. Split time at Double-A and Triple-A. 26 combined starts as he went 11-6.
He had great control in the minor leagues, but that's been a little bit of a problem up here.
Up and in, right on cue.
He's struck out 3, walked 4. But in the minor leagues, he was a master controls pitcher. That'll get your attention a little bit up and in.
The 2-2 pitch. Diaz is swing and a miss. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. Patterson in left, Blackman in center, Carlos Gonzalez in right. Arenado, Descalso, LeMahieu, Parra along the infield. Tom Murphy is behind the plate. Really highly thought of prospect for the Rockies. Their catcher today can hit. We'll see if he can catch.
He caught Gray in that 16 strikeout performance on Saturday, and in that game he had 5 RBIs.
Jed Jerko is 4 for 8 in this series. Couple of doubles and a home run. It was a long home run last night to dead center field, swinging on a 3-0 pitch. Breaking ball drops in there for a strike, 1-1.
If I remember right, they measured that at 452 feet, his home run to dead center field.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Big gap in left center. Jerko hits a high fly ball into right. Gonzalez drifting back makes the catch. Carpenter stays put at the bag at first, and there's 2 down. Well, the Cardinals are winning games on the road, but it hasn't been because of the contributions all that much from Brandon Moss. 2 for his last 46 on the road. Last night, the Cardinals, with the Adams home run, gave them 8 players with 15 or more homers, which now sets the National League record. That pitch taken inside. Moss this year has popped 27. Team high with Jerko. He's driven in 65.
Still getting playing time because of that power potential. But just 2 for 20 on the road trip with a home run. Saw last night, it looked like Piscotty needed a break. With the day game after the night game, we thought that Molina would get a break, who's had a very good, almost 500 road trip.
Shift is on and the 2-0. This is outside. Randall Grichuk moving up in this lineup. He'll bat 5th, and he's on deck.
Career night for Grichuk last night.
3-0 pitch. Moss looks at a strike. The Cardinals come into play today 17 games above 500, 47-30, major league best record on the road. They average about 5.5 runs a game on the road, first in baseball, 20th though in runs at home. And there's a 2-out walk, and it brings in Grichuk. Grichuk has reached base safely in 14 consecutive starts. 333 the average in that time frame, and he scored 4 runs last night.
Yeah, 3 hits, pair of doubles, a single and a walk. You know, really, when you look at his numbers since he returned from Memphis for the 2nd time, he's hit over 300, an awful lot of extra base hits, and those home runs have been coming quite regular.
2 outs and 2 on. Grichuk looks at a strike.
So far, it looks like the curveball has been his pitch to go to for strikes.
Here's the 0-1. Hit sharply to third. There's Arenado in a forced play at second. Cardinals will strand 2. Luke Weaver to the mound when we come back. His record stands at 1-2. 23-year-old making his first appearance at Coors Field, coming off an 8-2 loss last time out in San Francisco. He allowed 6 unearned runs in 2 2/3. There's a look at Walt Weiss. Now let's take a look at his lineup. Charlie Blackmon, DJ LeMahieu, and Carlos Gonzalez. Then Arenado, Parra, Murphy, Patterson, Descalso, and Marquez. Charlie Blackmon has a 9-game hitting streak in play here today. He's hit .410 the last 9 games. And right now, he is 3rd in the batting race, tied with Joey Votto.
Hit his 28th home run last night and 75th RBI. That's a record for Rockies leadoff men.
2 for 8 in this series. And the 1-0 by Luke Weaver. Weaver's got that sneaky fastball, and I think it's part of the look of him. He's not a big guy, but that fastball does get on you pretty quickly.
And you'll see a lot of his strikeouts he'll get are looking. You know, they're just trying to figure him out. Very good changeup.
1-1 inside.
He's had problems on the road, and really the biggest problem is when he gets into a jam. You see the Hyundai pitch arsenal, the fastball, the change, cutter, and curve.
And that's tapped foul.
You talk about the game in San Francisco. He was struck out the first 4 in that ball game, but then only went 2 2/3. 6 unearned runs, and there you see what happens on the road. 0-3, 415. And I just think, you know, he's learning, and this valuable time that he's getting here in September is going to help him through his career.
2-2. Carson Kelly is his battery mate here today. Kelly getting that start, Molina the day off, and we've been very impressed with how he handles a pitching staff, albeit brief. But when we've seen him back there, very quiet, very soft hands in receiving the baseball.
You know, 2 for 1 for Yachty. Off day tomorrow.
And that's a base hit into right field. Cardinals defensively around the horn is presented by Dobbs. Moss in left, Grichuk in center, Hazelbaker is in right. Jerko, Diaz, Wong, and Carpenter on the infield. Carson Kelly is behind the plate. It's a very tough test for Luke Weaver, pitching in this ballpark and also pitching against a team that 1 through 4 is loaded. And as a team, they hit .311 here at home.
And now you got the National League's leading hitter standing in the batter's box, LeMahieu.
He has reached base in 36 straight games. And that's not even tops right now in baseball. Freddie Freeman of the Braves has reached base in 40 straight. It's the 6th longest streak in Rockies history.
And during that 36 game hit, you know, on base streak, he's hit .413.
And that ball gets away. Blackmon, long strides and on his way to third.
Talked about it the first night that sometimes here that you really have problems at night games where the sun is setting in left field, but you can't say that's a problem right here during the day. Cardinal pitchers becoming kind of a habit throwing balls away there.
Normally in the first inning or early innings of any game here at Coors Field, you do not see the infield brought in. You're expecting high offense. First pitch to LeMahieu is hit out of play. Cardinals now with 21 errors from their pitching staff, second most in baseball, and tied with Colorado.
That's not one of the stats you want to be up there with the league leaders.
0-1 pitch inside. LeMahieu, it's not just the average, which is close to 400 at home, but also he gets on base outside of just the base hits. He walks a lot at home. His home on base percentage best in baseball at 475.
Yeah, they say he really changed his attitude and realizes that, hey, walks are just as like base hits.
There's a strike, 1-2.
They've been very impressed with his, almost according to game situation, whether a walk or a base hit or whatever, trying to find any way to get on and let the other guys drive him in.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to LeMahieu. Lined out to center field, backing up Grichuk. He'll make the catch. Blackman will tag up. 1-0 Rockies. RBI number 64 for LeMahieu.
And when you end up with a guy at third base and nobody out, a lot of times you'll make a mistake trying to be so fine and perfect that you'll end up throwing a crooked number up there. So you almost concede that run, scores on a sac fly, and now just go attack the hitter and just get out of this inning with just a 1-run scored.
Brings in Carlos Gonzalez, hitting .297. First pitch, a strike. 5th season for Cargo with 25 or more home runs. Has 197 in his career with the Rockies. 5th all time on the franchise list. Number 1, Todd Helton. Base hit into right.
Showed you that Weaver's had trouble with left-handed batters, and already 2 in this lineup have both gotten base hits. You don't want to throw that ball down, and you don't want to throw it on the inner part of the plate.
Nolan Arenado, the league leader in home runs and RBIs. Grichuk deep in center, and why not? He's had 38 home runs already hit this year. He's driven in 124. He's 1 ahead of Chris Bryant for the home run title. He is 20 ahead of Anthony Rizzo in RBIs. If the Rockies were going to postseason play, you'd be talking about Nolan Arenado being the MVP.
Yeah, leads the National League in home runs, leads the major leagues in RBIs.
0-1 pitch. And it's the debate that you hear every year. There's usually a lesser team or a sub 500 team that features a player that puts up big numbers, and should he be considered an MVP?
I think one year, 1979, really was co-MVPs. Keith Hernandez had great numbers, but the Cardinals didn't win. The Pirates won, and Stargell was a co-MVP with much less numbers because they won.
Think about Andre Dawson in Chicago
Sure.
over Ozzie Smith. The Hawk. Here's a 1-2 pitch by Luke Weaver. Into center field. 3 hits here in the first. Hung that breaking ball.
Well, remember, the ball just doesn't have the same break here at this altitude that it does at other stadiums. So you really have to accentuate pulling down on the ball. I thought Wainwright did an incredible job last night. Curveball was a big pitch for him. Probably the best we've seen all season long.
So runners at first and second. This is a ground ball staff, and that includes Luke Weaver, Wainwright. And he needs that ground ball here. 1 out. Here's Parra. He's batting .254, 7 home runs, 37 RBIs. His 3rd start at first base in this series. Former Gold Glover in the outfield.
This is a real tough assignment, for any young pitcher pitching in this ballpark. But for Weaver, with all the left-handed batters, they came in batting .321 against him.
Here's a 1-0. Had him out in front with the changeup, and a high fly ball lifted into center. Grichuk makes the catch. Runners stay put. Luke Weaver has never even been to Colorado, whether it be baseball or just vacation or coming through any point in time in his career. Remember, others at AAA Memphis might have experienced the altitude playing at Colorado Springs. He admitted after his last start had a tough time getting a grip on the baseball in San Francisco, and you'd have to think that today would be even tougher.
Yeah, dry air up here.
So here's Tom Murphy. Could be their catcher of the future. Dealt with a very tough oblique injury, and that happened right at the end of spring training, but still put up pretty good numbers in the minor leagues. 77 games and hit .330.
19 home runs, 59 RBIs.
Good pitch.
Yeah, in on the hands. Murphy did make his major league debut with the Rockies last season. And you see the setup inside, and he delivered it right there. Hitters all want to get their arms extended, drive the ball, and when you can pitch inside and tie them up, they aren't going to do much.
1 ball and 1 strike. 1-2.
Change up there. That really is a good pitch for him.
Pitch number 22 here in the first inning from Luke Weaver. Runners at first and second. Tied him up and struck him out. His first strikeout of the afternoon. RBI by LeMahieu. 1-0 Rockies after 1. HD on more than 400 supported devices and enjoy a free subscription to At Bat Premium. #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv. Matt Holliday put one to the Helton Burger Shack in Game 1 in the batting practice and shattered the glass, and they had to shut it down. That's when you know you hit one pretty hard and pretty far. You shut down the Helton Burger Shack. Over 450 feet. Here's Hazelbaker. Pinch hit RBI single last night. Leads the club in pinch hits with 11 hits.
A lot of that was early in the season. He's tied for the Major League lead with 4 home runs as a pinch hitter this year. That's a franchise mark, too.
Well, normally if you come to Colorado, you may have a delay because of rain, snow. But today, a 3-minute delay because of a standoff between Jose Martinez and Estevez, the Rockies reliever. It was really epic.
I mean, we were just glued. We couldn't.
There's a base hit. Fair. Just inside the line, and Jeremy on his way to second base. Second hit for the Cardinals. Here it is. If you just joined us, it was really some great TV. Two guys standing and staring at each other. I'm told it lasted 8 minutes from the end of the national anthem to the point of when the umpires finally awarded that to St. Louis. And like I said before, Al, it's a moment he'll never forget.
We won't either.
Here's Carson Kelly, the 22-year-old. When Yachty made his debut in 2004, he was 21. Carson Kelly, 22.
Texas League All-Star this year. Played in the Futures game.
Chops it up the middle. Advancing on the play, Hazelbaker as Descalso throws to first. And it brings in Colton Wong.
That runner over to third. One out. Hopefully you can pick him up with a sac fly or more.
Colton Wong was batting leadoff last night, and today he is in the 8th spot. Hitting .239 with 5 home runs, and he's driven in 22.
Infield in, Danny.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah. 2 rookies.
Wong with a fly ball out to right. Gonzalez, good arm. Here we go. The throw to the plate, not in time, and this game is tied. Hazelbaker scores on the RBI from Colton Wong. 1-1 here in the top of the second.
23rd RBI for Colton. We have a tie ball game. And the reason we're surprised is because runs, very rarely will you see a low scoring game here, and so pulling the infield in, you create all kinds of openings, but here's the sac fly.
Not a bad throw, but with the speed of Hazelbaker, no chance.
Yeah,
Here is Luke Weaver.
I keep on looking at a lot of plays like that, and you just wonder if the catcher had the ability to block home plate again, what would happen?
I think about that, and I also think about the double plays at second base, where now those that turn it are protected because of the new slide rule. Low strike on Weaver. What a job last night by Adam Wainwright. 2-run double, 2-run single. He now has 18 driven in, and Wainwright one shy of Bob Gibson, who had 19 RBIs back in 1970, but that's not even the all-time record for RBIs in Cardinals history from a pitcher. You have to go back to 1894. Pink Hawley. Pink Hawley had 23 RBIs as a Cardinals pitcher in 1894, and there's Weaver picking up a 2-out base hit.
But, you know, another good hitting pitcher.
The Cardinals starters in this series are now 4 for 4, 2 doubles, and 6 RBIs.
Martinez and Wainwright got the game-winning RBIs in their starts, and that could be a possibility today with Weaver, the way he swings the bat.
Matt Carpenter, a base hit to center, first time up. Breaking ball and a strike. And I agree with you right now for Marquez. It's the curveball that's been his most effective pitch.
They're counting on him to be one of their 5 starters for next year.
The shift is on here for Matt.
Dan, you could grow up real quick as a young pitcher here, or just have your confidence absolutely destroyed. Nice play by Murphy. Ball in the dirt, blocking it, coming up with it.
You're a pitcher, you get drafted, you're pumped up, you're going to sign your first pro contract, and then you realize, wait a minute, I have to do this at Coors Field?
And then even like at AAA, how do you rate their pitching? You know, Matt Bowman was an example, you know, playing in Las Vegas in the Pacific Coast League, and now they're a very small ballpark where the ball really flies. He led the Pacific Coast League in losses last year, and now he's become a very valuable asset to our bullpen.
I figure if you're going to lose, might as well do it in Vegas. Have a little fun. As long as you're not losing at the crap stop.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't want to be a double loser.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Fights it off. Fly ball out to left, and the catch is made by Patterson. Colton Wong, the RBI, and we're tied at 1. After a win, big day at the plate. All smiles. More on that. Let's check in with Jim.
Yeah, as you were saying, Dan, 2 more hits, 4 more RBIs for Adam Wainwright last night. He's got 18 RBIs on the season, tops among major league pitchers. It's not even close. He also has 10 extra base hits. Waino told me he credits a new aggressive approach at the plate. He said, quote, "I'm not trying to hit singles anymore. I'm looking to do damage." He said he's worked with John Mabry and the coaching staff to get better offensively and sought advice from Madison Bumgarner. He says Bumgarner told him he waits on a certain pitch and just lets it fly. Wainwright told me he's doing more of that, especially with fastballs. Dan, he told me he's trying to hit like a hitter now as opposed to a pitcher, but he is doing damage.
He's doing a lot of damage, and I'm watching my partner, a former pitcher, kind of chuckle at that a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, why not? Get one pitch, let it rip.
And boy, how novel, looking for a fastball.
Here's Jordan Patterson looking for his first major league hit. And a breaking ball.
He's one of the few that spent the entire season at AAA.
Here's a 1-1. Little floater and a base hit. So the first major league hit for Patterson as he fights off this pitch.
The lefties once again are 3 for 4 off of Weaver today. And Scalzo, who's getting a chance to play quite a bit, hitting about 267 as a starter this year, but he has the highest batting average, almost 400 as a pinch hitter. And he had a home run last night.
Getting a chance to play at shortstop, Trevor Story. His season ended back on July 30th. To give you an idea of the kind of year that Story was having, that's nearly 7 weeks ago. He's still the leading rookie in baseball in home runs.
He was quite the story.
I get it, Al. That's why you're one of the best.
Just one of the very talented young shortstops in the game today.
It's Trevor Story there.
Thumb injury also, right?
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Little bouncer past Carpenter and into right field. So runners at the corners and nobody out for Marquez.
Scalzo keeps on doing the job for the Rockies. Bounces it through there on the right side. Patterson goes on over to third and nobody out here, and Weaver's in a jam.
You know, we talk about the Cardinals being a ground ball staff, which is great. However, you look at the range of this team defensively, it's, you know, not the team that you'd look at and say, okay, this is a team that's got a ton of it.
It's a very good point, Danny. Made a lot of errors in the infield. Wouldn't really say that guys have tremendous range by any means.
Marquez gets the bunt down, a play at the plate, and the tag is there. Nicely done by Luke Weaver, hopping off the mound.
Absolutely. Hopping off the mound and not panicking, not rushing the throw. You know, making an accurate throw, giving Kelly a chance to apply that tag. Also, the catchers, remember, they got to, you know, they've got to give a lane to the runner. And usually if a batter gets that bunt down in a safety squeeze situation, it's really hard to defend it. So a really nice play by the two rookies, Weaver and Kelly.
I think you said it best. He didn't panic. A lot of guys do that, whether you're a rookie or 10-year vet. So here's Blackman, who scored the first run back in the first inning. The Rockies have scored in the first inning of all 3 games, but have not won the first 2, obviously. And right now we're tied. There's a strike. Blackman is driven in 75, which eclipses Eric Young's 74 for a leadoff batter in Rockies history. That was the record set back in 1996.
And Eric Young, normally the first base coach, is back over at third base after the injury to the third base coach, Stu Cole.
Ground ball and a base hit. Hazel Baker's throw would be cut off, and it's a 2-1 Rockies lead. Descalso scoring.
See, these left-handed bats are just finding holes. Wanted it inside, leaves it right dead in the middle of the plate, down, pulls it through the right side, and now it's 76 RBIs, the most ever in franchise history for the Rockies for a leadoff man.
6 hits already allowed by Weaver. Here's LeMahieu. Picked up an RBI back in the first to drive in Blackman. Ball 1. Chad Fairchild, the home plate umpire. James Hoy at first. Nick Lentz is at second. Jim Joyce, the crew chief, is down at third.
See if we can't get a double play here. Get out of this inning.
Big gap in left center, and it's hit to right center. On the move, Randall Grichuk makes the catch on the track. And Blackman has to hurry up to first. The throw is offline. The ball nearly went into the dugout. Weaver sliding for it. Runners advance to second and third in what should have been a double play.
Yeah, absolutely. Looked like Colton Wong rushed his throw. Nice play by Grichuk to track that down. Both runners. Blackman at first had already rounded second base by 10 or 12 feet. So the ball gets back here, and Wong just kind of flings the ball towards Carpenter. Now you see him retracing the bases, going back with a good throw, and they would have had him. had a little more time than what he thought. Colton Wong.
So if Gonzalez here, Derek Lilliquist out to visit with his young rookie. A happy birthday to Carlos Martinez. He turns 25 today. Martinez, 25 years of age, and Don Huff, a 90-year-old that never misses a game on Fox Sports Midwest. Happy birthday to Don Huff.
Mike Matheny's being very patient with Weaver.
Especially with the off day tomorrow.
Yeah, with 6 hits already, and nobody stirring in the Cardinal bullpen.
Cardinals carry 13 relievers. With expanded rosters, off day tomorrow. Will be in Chicago on Friday night.
I think we'd be covered.
I would think so. I'd hope to think that would be the case. I said Friday night. It's a day game, by the way, on Friday. Mike Leake, Jake Arrieta, game 1. Alex Reyes, Jason Hamill, game 2. And Carlos Martinez, John Lester. That'll be Sunday Night Baseball. What a matchup that'll be.
Well, that's going to be a lot of fun that weekend. But let's just take care of business and win this one.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how the Cubs want to play it.
I agree. Madden, you know, is he going to go and try to attack and win every single game, or is he going to rest certain key people?
I could see both ways.
Both ways, exactly.
First walk issued by Luke Weaver, and it brings in Arenado. I wonder if part of that conversation with Derek Lilliquist, Al, was, hey, I realize it's second and third, and we're going to bring up a guy that's crushing the baseball in Arenado in terms of his numbers, but recently hasn't been Arenado-like. You're struggling with the left-handed batters. Take your chances.
Yeah, it might have been some of that, but then as soon as the walk was completed, Sokolovich gets up in the bullpen. So could have been by design either way. And Jaime.
Arenado, deep left, trouble. Grand slam. Home run number 39.
Four more RBIs to his major league leading RBI total, now up to 128. He had not really swung the bat very well in the first 2 games, but he's 2 for 2. And that is a big blow. Remember, still, this is ballpark, you know. They've got a rookie pitcher out there, 21 years of age, making his major league debut, or his first major league start. The lefties have given trouble, and then Arenado punctuated it.
Parra pops it back in foul. 6-1 Rockies here in the bottom of the second.
It's the first time that Luke Weaver has given up more than 3 earned runs. The run in the first inning was also earned, even though he had that 2-base throwing error, but he had 2 more base hits, so it became an earned run also. See Jaime right there. Jaime would, Sokolovich would say, you know, would finish an inning, and then Jaime would start an inning fresh, the way I would think.
So he's gotten 5 outs, 40 pitches. Here's a 1-2 to Parra. In the air out to left field. Big inning for the Rockies as they played 5-4 on 1 swing of the bat. Grand slam by Arenado. 6-1 as we head to the third. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. And by your local Volkswagen dealer. Nice day here in Denver. Not a nice start, though. 6-1 Rockies. It'll be Diaz, Jerko, and Moss. Fourth career grand slam for Arenado. Diaz struck out his first time up. From the Rockies' perspective, first major league start for Marquez, and it couldn't go any better now with a 5-run cushion.
Exactly right. But as we were talking between innings, that this game is long from being over. I mentioned the Cardinals had to battle back in both the first two games of this series.
1-2 pitch. 2-2. The Mets, the Giants, the Cardinals all tied at 80 and 71 in the wild card. Diaz crushes that pitch, hit down the left field line. It is foul.
We know he can turn on a ball and hit it out of the ballpark. He's hit 2 home runs since returning. There, a hanging breaking ball left on the inner part of the plate, and just try to keep it fair, but it just goes foul.
You put a ball on the inner half,
yes.
He does a lot of damage.
You're absolutely right. And then you throw him outside, and he's got 22 infield hits.
Remember, there was about a 2-week period that you started seeing a lot of pitches outside. As Diaz hit by the pitch, he would pull off those, but to his credit, he made the adjustment, started going the other way.
Right, and then, like you said, a lot of the breaking balls out there, he topped them, and we get the infield singles. Here, ball gets away. Looks, hopefully it hit him on that pad.
It's the third Cardinal in this series to be hit by a pitch. Brings in Jed Jerko, 20th home run of the second half last night. Brian Dozier of Minnesota with 27 second half home runs. Chris Davis, the former Brewer, now with Oakland, has 21. And Jerko and Hanley Ramirez both with 20 since the All-Star break.
Hanley.
He's come alive with the Red Sox.
Yes, he has.
Had a great April, then went south, and now
you
got
knew
hot again.
Knew he's very talented, but sometimes you just didn't see the production. This guy has produced.
Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard, what we're talking about there. Red Sox, by the way, have a 4-game lead in the American League East. Hit out to center. Blackman comes in to make the catch. Jerko 0 for 2. In steps Brandon Moss. Mets have Bartolo Colon against Ryan Weber tonight at Citi Field. Braves trying to get a sweep in New York for the first time since 2012. And the teams have split the season series.
How do you figure that?
Yeah. That's baseball, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's really the beauty of the game is, you know, it's a team sport, but dependent on individual production, and any given day you can have somebody have a great day at the plate, or a pitcher throws a game of his life. A lot of the other sports, the best team's always going to win, but in this baseball, sometimes it can be a shocker.
A Rocky goes out and strikes out 16 at home.
Yeah.
Here's a 1-1. Moss
Wait,
hit that twice.
Yeah, hit him outside the batter's box. I was wondering about this is, you know, he's showing bunt, and does it really hit him outside the batter's box? Oh, he hit it with the bat.
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah. Still in the batter, or out of the batter's box too. Looked like that front leg was out. Looked to be the correct call.
I think so.
Ooh, I don't know. He may have still been in the batter's box.
Better call him out. Almost looked like he swung at it the second time. I know he's struggling, but he is your cleanup hitter. You got him in the lineup because of one swing of the bat in a very homer-friendly ballpark. Not sure I like my cleanup hitters trying to bunt.
Parra is telling the Rockies, take a look at this. He thinks the tag was there and a pick off of Diaz.
Tom Runnels is the bench coach for Walt Weiss. Longtime minor league manager.
Grichuk at the plate. Fastball. And strike one. Giants wrap up their series with the Dodgers tonight. Matt Moore against Kenta Maeda.
They finished the season playing a series in San Francisco.
Cardinals return home on Monday night. The final homestand of the year. Still good seats remaining. A lot of the special giveaways and theme tickets are there, plus a pennant race, so come on down. Cardinals.com. That's it out of play. Mentioned it last night, you know, under Tony La Russa, a lot of times the Cardinals dominated so much in the Central, they'd have this thing wrapped up with 2 weeks to go, and now there's meaningful baseball. We hope to see a lot of fans next week.
Oh, they're definitely meaningful games.
Grichuk a swing and a miss, and strikeout number 2 for Marquez. We're midway through 3, and the Rockies have a 6-1 lead. A fresh inning now for Jaime Garcia. That's it for Luke Weaver. 2 innings, 6 runs on 7 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Gave up the grand slam to Arenado. And the former starter now working out of the pen, Garcia, gets the call here in the 3rd. 6-1 Rockies. Murphy, Patterson, Descalso coming up. who knows? With all these lefties in this lineup, this might be the right guy to go with, and you need a long man.
Yeah, and I also think that Jaime could find himself back in the rotation, depending on how well he pitches here. You got to make that with Weaver's inability to retire left-handed batters.
So Tom Murphy leads it off. Struck out on a pitch that was in on his hands first time up. Now take a look at this inning, Carson Kelly, and how quiet he is behind the plate. They talk about how many times, and I bring this up with Murphy at the plate, their catcher, how a young, inexperienced defender will, bounce all over the place, where pitchers are saying, look, stay stationary, give me a target.
And when we talk about quiet, it's just that they really don't move much. There's just subtle movements. They used to always talk about with pitchers, and Jaime would be kind of an example of it. The catcher would just sit in the middle of the plate. Don't give it location because it's got too much movement.
And a lot of pitchers will tell you, I don't want a guy bouncing around. I don't want you hitting your glove on the inside, then bouncing to the out. Just set up, give me a target.
And what they're trying to do there is they're trying to, make a hitter think that they're looking one way and, going to pitch you outside, and then they move inside. And you don't want to be popping up. You don't want to be reaching out. Let the ball come to you.
Now, if I'm Jaime Garcia, I'm looking at this as being a very important outing.
Absolutely. He made a relief outing in San Francisco, and he was very good. Ton of strikeouts in that game.
Swung on and missed, picks up a strikeout. Hyundai pitch arsenal this year for Garcia. Fastball, change, cutter, curve, ball moves all over the place, so this could be a real tough test for Carson Kelly.
Jaime pitched 2 innings on the 16th at San Francisco. Gave up 1 hit, 2 runs, but he had 5 strikeouts in that ball game.
Patterson had a base hit into shallow center. First ever major league hit. Tried to score on the bunt by Marquez and was thrown out. Back to Garcia. Underhands it to first baseman Matt Carpenter, 2 down. Next time you want to grab seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you'll love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by the best value. So get the StubHub app today. Here's Descalso. He singled to right. 9 1/3, 13 earned over 2 starts for Jaime Garcia at this ballpark. He's not the only one, though, that hasn't had some good nights or good days here. Get in line.
And we haven't talked about Denveritis.
1-2-3 inning for Jaime Garcia. We head to the 4th, and the Rockies have the lead. It's 6-1. 6-1 Rockies lead. Push for the postseason heats up this weekend. Cardinals head to Chicago. Friday's game is right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Coverage starts at 12:30. Saturday's game on Fox starting at 11:30. We'll watch the games live on Fox Sports Go. I'm sure a lot of our fans are doing that right now. And well, they're supposed to be productive at work, but why not have the Fox Sports Go app and watch a little baseball?
Why not?
Jeremy Hazelbaker doubled down the left field line and a run scored on the RBI by Wong.
One of our cameramen on this crew here brought up two gentlemen that were big Cardinal fans from the United Kingdom. They watch our games all the time.
The reach of this franchise is incredible. The letters that we get, we appreciate all of them. The tweets, the texts. Broken bat, 2 hops to second. LeMahieu. You wouldn't believe on Twitter how many people I hear from all over the country. I mean, everywhere.
Well, yeah, but you know, I mean, I got 64 million Twitter followers.
Are you ever going to get on Twitter, Al?
I am 64 million.
You're not on Twitter.
I'm not on Twitter?
You don't lie. You can't lie to the fans. You're not on Twitter. But if we did get you on Twitter, you'd have instantaneously, I'd say right off the bat.
3.
I'd follow you. I think the cat would. June would.
By the way, I think there was Eddie and Rich from the United Kingdom, and they even told me that don't let Jim Hayes give us a bad time.
Really?
Yeah.
This Carson Kelly. Tommy, our esteemed director, had a shot of that lady in the hat. I guarantee that she would follow you. She seems to be right up your alley.
Oh, sometimes
there
that's what might scare me.
Kelly's hit by the pitch. That's the second right-handed batter that Marquez has hit. The other was Diaz back in the third.
Well, we talked about his impeccable control in the minor leagues. He's cutting down on the walks, but now he's just adding hit batters. It's not a good way to pitch with a lead here and giving free passes or hit guys to get on base.
Wong, the RBI, is 23rd. Back in the second. Fastball taken low.
Say, make it hurt.
Big gap in right center field for Colton Wong. Garcia is on deck. That pitch right there has been effective.
Yeah, it's the curveball is his best pitch. You talk about his easy gas, you know, just effortless, high octane fastball, but and a very good curveball, and that's definitely there. Working on a changeup.
Could be 2. Parra to second, back to first, and safe as Wong gets down the line.
Colton has hit into 3 double plays, but you know he can run, and he was hustling all the way. They're still trying to find out if Parra can play first base. Mark Reynolds, the former Cardinal, had been doing a lot of first base this year for the Rockies, but you know, he broke the hamate bone. He said he was going to be 6 to 8 weeks with that. He came back in 19 games. And then over the Sunday, I guess it was, he was hit again in that same hand and broke the hand.
The Rockies 2 days ago early working on that exact play as Garcia sends a fly ball out to left. But the ball's hit to first baseman and going to second. So Parra threw a strike to Descalso for out number 2. Garcia flies out. It's 6-1. catching the warm-up tosses of Jaime Garcia. More on Kelly. Let's check in with Jim.
Well, Dan, with an off day tomorrow, Mike Matheny told me he's trying to get a sort of 2-for-1 in terms of rest for Yachty, but he says Molina will be available late. Matheny says he's been very impressed with Carson Kelly, who he says has been very conscientious about trying to learn everything he possibly can. He says he challenged Kelly to watch Yachty behind the plate and mentally call the game along with him. Look at the differences and then ask questions. As Mike put it, you can stuff your face with bubble gum during the games that you're not playing, or you can try to learn something. Dan, Mike says Carson is asking all the right questions.
And you think about it, he has the chance to back up what we believe is a future Hall of Famer, and then his manager is one of the better defensive catchers that we've seen in the last 10 or 20 years. As Marquez leads it off, and I'm just shocked that fan thought that Jim was rough on us. Say it ain't so, Al.
Say it ain't so. I think we all appreciate Jim and the hard work he does. He does have a tough assignment and does it in an outstanding manner and a great rapport with the players.
But apparently not with the broadcasters. I personally love Jimmy. I do. I love the man. But you and Jim sometimes get a little sideways, Al.
Yeah, with you guys, I'm going to take a page from O's book and say, are you kidding me?
I'm staying out of this love fest between you and.
Are you kidding me?
For those that missed it, Jim always asked, when they do an interview, if you learn a new phrase. And one of the phrases that he's learned to tell the media, I'll get you next time.
He says, sorry, very politely, Dan, sorry, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. That's what it is.
And then when I ask him a really bad question, he's going to say, are you kidding me? It happens.
It does happen.
That was funny yesterday, Jimmy, when you asked him that question about if I ask you a bad question. He immediately had that response.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't need Koo to interpret anything.
Breaking ball taken down and in by Charlie Blackmon. He's 2 for 2, 2 runs scored. Both have been singles to right. Mentioned in this series that Blackmon was drafted not once, but twice as a pitcher, and then was a position player at Georgia Tech full time, and the Rockies picked him up. You find that in baseball, don't you, where guys start a career path one way and it winds up being another one once they get to the big leagues?
I think you'd also be surprised at how many guys that maybe earlier in their amateur career that another sport was their favorite. But I think that you should play all sports, and what you learn in every sport is going to help you in other sports. I love guys that have a football mentality, and take that on the baseball field.
I've talked to many players over the years that have young kids, and they shake their head, and I think parents would be surprised. They shake their head at watching youth sports and how it is now so specialized, because a good majority of these players, and I'd put the percentage 80-85%, played something other than baseball. They learned other life lessons, whether it be in hockey or for Holiday. He was a tremendous football player. Scott Rowland was an all-state basketball player. Now, for some of the Dominican players, baseball is the only sport. They'll play a little soccer here and there, but usually it's primarily baseball year-round. But here in the United States, different seasons, different sports.
I think it's a real injustice when high school coaches tell a young freshman or sophomore and say, you have to decide right now what sport you want to play. Now, maybe part of that is because you're trying to have everybody participate, but what you're good at 15, 16, 17 may not be your ultimate best sport.
LeMahieu, a base hit into left. First hit allowed by Jaime Garcia in relief of Luke Weaver.
National League leading average hitter right there.
Let's take a look at our Toyota keys to the game.
Well, we kind of had to revise it because Luke Weaver didn't stay in there, but we want Garcia to stay under control. You know, this could be a very important outing for him. And also, you know, the Cardinals just need to finish this series. Every single game is so important. And we've seen a lot of times a team will lose the first game of a series and then win the next two. A lot of times when they win the first two games, they lose the third game. But right now, every single game is so important to this ball club. So retire the Rockies, get back on offense. There's a lot of game left to make up this deficit.
Here's Gonzalez on base twice. Singled and walked. Longest tenured player is Jorge De La Rosa for the Rockies. Last night's starter. Second longest is this man at the plate. The nucleus is LeMahieu, Story, Blackmon, Gonzalez. Big question though around the Rockies, what do they do with Cargo? Maybe even as soon as this offseason. He's a free agent to be after next year. And I was talking to some of the writers of the Rockies, and they feel they're going to try and make every attempt to keep him. And I said, well, you traded Tulowitzki, certainly you could trade Carlos Gonzalez. I said, well, that's a fair point.
You know, Blackmon is at 30 years of age. They're kind of wondering whether do they move him or not. But it seems like they have a lot of good outfielders, left-hand hitting outfielders. They think they've come up with, you know, 5 potential good young starters, all under the age of, say, 25. They'll work hard on the bullpen, try and correct some issues there.
Gonzalez to the right side. Wong spins. Oh, what a play. Colton Wong ranging to his left and takes a hit away from Cargo. The Rockies strand a runner. They've left 3 on. Nice play by Colton. It's 6-1. Rockies here in the top of the 5th inning. Again, back home Monday night, first of 4 against Cincinnati. Wrap it up against Pittsburgh next week. We encourage the fans to come on out. Playoff atmosphere. Those games in San Francisco, it felt like the playoffs. It was great. Love to see that atmosphere back home in St. Louis, and good seats are still available.
Well, Danny, and the way the ball club, after the first 2 defeats, you know, it was hard not to, you know, get down on the team and sit there and say, well, they had a run, 2 outs, nobody on base, 9th inning.
2 outs away from being 4 back with 14 to play. For all intents and purposes, you're done.
Put a fork in it, right? But then that miraculous comeback.
That has been this team this year.
Yeah.
Carpenter lines it into the shift, and the catch made by Descalso.
But you're absolutely right about getting the fans out there and get behind this ball club, because you know Cincinnati and Pittsburgh do their best to knock them off, be the spoilers. Hard hit ball, but defensive metrics had him played perfectly.
It's a big day for the Mets, not just because of the game tonight, but Steven Matz will throw a bullpen session at Citi Field. He's scheduled to pitch Friday night against the Phillies, so
yeah,
that could be big for them next week.
They get him back.
Mention it's Bartolo Colon against Ryan Weber. Weber was 3 when Colon debuted.
The way he's pitching, he'll be out there again next year.
And all these guys, these young studs that they've got, Harvey, DeGrom will have surgery, Steven Matz, Zach Wheeler, last man standing, Bartolo Colon. It really has become a fan favorite with the Mets faithful. Hit up the middle, base hit, Diaz. Would it surprise you at all that they would bring him back?
No. I mean, like you said, he's become dependable. Takes the ball every 5th day. Don't put him on a scale.
Don't miss Grateful Dead night at Busch Stadium. That's Monday. Purchase of the special theme ticket. Fans receive an exclusive Grateful Dead inspired Cardinals t-shirt. Grateful Dead night tickets available for you at cardinals.com/theme. There's a look at that shirt. Jerko takes a strike. 0 for 2 today. He's a .324 career hitter. 26 games at this ballpark.
Felt like he knew these pitchers pretty well, playing in the same division. But now they got all these young kids. It's you know, you got to go do the video work, trust your eyes when you're in the batter's box. I would expect to see the team, and to have it this 3rd time through the order, I expect them to have a little better at bats. And you think about Carpenter, line one, but the defense was right there. Diaz gets a base hit. Now see if we can get Jerko and the rest of them to start having better swings.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first is Diaz. Pulled to Arenado, throws off balance, and a strike to first. Wow.
He can throw, can he?
He is some kind of player.
Well, let's put it this way. If the Rockies had a winning team, he'd be the MVP. He's leading the National League in home runs. He leads the major leagues in RBIs. He's a Gold Glove caliber 3rd baseman, multiple Gold Gloves out there, and that's just a routine play. I think a lot of his errors, and you touched on it the other day, is saying that he's unfairly judged because he's so good that they, instead of saying the average National League shortstop wouldn't have made these plays.
Well, he gets to that ball, and if others get to that ball, you know, a lot of times
can't throw him out.
Can't throw him out, or they throw wildly.
Yeah.
But that ball is on the mark.
And as you said, a lot of 3rd basemen won't get to the ball, period.
Brandon Moss tried to bunt his way on back in the 3rd. He is also walked. 1 ball and 1 strike. Arenado, we've talked about it too. He leads in home runs and RBIs. And the last 2 players in the National League to lead the league in home runs 2 straight seasons. Albert Pujols did it 08-09, and prior to that it was Mark McGwire in 98 and 99. McGwire had 70 in 98, 65 in 99. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Outside. That base hit by Aledmys Diaz. First hit for the Cardinals since Luke Weaver back in the 2nd. Richard on deck.
Brandon Moss turned 33 years of age 5 days ago. Where is his future with the Cardinals?
Free agent to be. 3-2 pitch. Moss, a swing and a miss, took something off it. 3rd strikeout for Marquez. Midway through 5, 6-1 Rockies. Season Saturday game is October 1st, and 30,000 fans take home a bobblehead of the 2006 World Series MVP David Eckstein. It's courtesy of Coca-Cola and Deerbergs. Also start planning ahead. Your 2017 Magnet schedule presented by Shelter Insurance. Don't miss the last weekend of the regular season. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Promotions department outstanding this year in what they provided to the fans.
Great job as usual. Boy, the quality of the giveaways so different.
They upped it by 30,000. It was in terms of how many they give away each night for those special giveaways. Investment by the club in the millions, but they knew the demand was there, that fans wanted to get to the ballpark. They enjoy the giveaways and the bobbleheads and the jackets and the hats and the shirts. So a lot of credit goes to Megan and her staff at the Cardinals for what they do.
And a lot of the fans may not be aware, but a lot of the other ball clubs would be 10,000. Would be how many giveaways they give. The Cardinals have that phenomenal following.
3-1 the count on Arenado. Grand slam back in the 2nd. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball left side, taken by Jerko. I think it would be fascinating to be in the off-season meetings of a new GM here in Colorado. He gets his scouts, he gets his lieutenants together and says, all right, who are we? What are we going to be defined by? Are we a ground ball staff? Are we looking for the draft power hitters? Are we looking for jackrabbits? You know, what kind of team do we want to be?
Best athlete available. I mean, they feel that they are developing that ground ball staff for these young pitchers.
I think certainly you'd say pitching wise we need guys that are very good with two-seamers.
Yes.
In terms of your everyday lineup, you go back to the Bombers, or do you go to the guys that can cover ground and steal bases? Parra, fly ball into right, and the catch is made by Hazelbaker. Maybe a combination.
Yeah, a combination. But like you said, they've had the Bombers in the outfield that really didn't move well, and then they went to the Jackrabbits, and here you see Hazelbaker with a nice coming in. You almost got to hold a little bit here because the ball would carry further, so you don't want to misjudge it and come in, but right off the shoe tops makes a nice play.
I would think this franchise, though, more than any, goes away from the traditional look of how you build a team.
And I think you also can remember too that if you build a winner here, they're going to come.
Yeah.
You know, they in their heyday it would be 4.5 million fans.
Except on Sundays in the fall. Might be a little tough against the Broncos.
Well, we'll just skip those.
Here's the 0-1. Popped up. Carpenter gives it a look, and that'll find the seats out of play. Tom Murphy at the plate, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, and he finds himself in the hole, 0-2. Garcia in his third inning of work. He's allowed 1 base hit, struck out 2, no walks.
Talked about the important outing for Jaime. Maybe gets himself back in the rotation. Look at that.
And he struck him out. It's the second time they've gone inside, and he could not hold up his swing. Grichuk, Hazelbaker, Kelly coming up. To the pen, and the Rockies will go with a lefty, Chris Rusin.
He is making his 26th appearance. He has 7 starts. See, 3-4, pretty good ERA, under 4 at 3.81, post batting .266 against him.
Randall Grichuk is our Kia in the driver's seat since August 11th. 301 average, the 11 home runs. 27 RBIs, the high OPS, so obviously has made a change or two in his approach, and it's paid off. In terms of those 11 home runs, it's third best in the National League since he was called back up. He's first in extra base hits. First pitch popped up and out of play, so this bullpen will try to hold it for Marquez to pick up the victory.
I mentioned Russin has made 7 starts, but his numbers are so much better out of the bullpen. 24 career relief appearances, 3-0. As a starter, he was 10-23 with an ERA over 5 and 49 career major league starts. Trying to get together with his young catcher. Russell was claimed off of waivers from the Cubs back in September of 2014.
Richick, they get inside, long way to go, and the catch will be made.
Tommy Pham will pinch hit here. Lefty on the mound. Hazelbaker was 1 for 2. Scored the only run for the Cardinals.
First pitch is strike. Foul ball and held on to for strike 2. The BJC Healthcare difference maker. High slugging percentage. Pinch hitters. National League since 1974. And that part of the Cardinals game has been magnificent this year.
Pham had a pinch hit single yesterday. He was 3 for 13 as a pinch hitter.
Taken just a bit high. The 1-2 inside. Give a split second as a hitter to react, and that angle there shows it quite well.
Recognize the spin, make a guess in the judgment of the type of pitch.
And he struck him out on a pitch that was up in the zone, and the first for the left-hander here this afternoon.
Pitches at the top of the strike zone and above are the pitcher's pitch. High in this, you know, when we're talking about something chest high or above the belt a little bit, that's when the pitcher's going to get hurt.
Here's Carson Kelly.
And you think about Kelly, you know, a lot of these young hitters or even some of the pitchers that the Rockies are showing, he knows them better than anybody in the Cardinals. Guys that played against each other in Pacific Coast League. Seemed like it was pretty evident there with Murphy, the way they pitched him inside.
Here's a 1-1. Hit up the middle and a base hit. So Kelly on base for the second time, hit by a pitch, now a single.
Signed as a third baseman and then turned into a catcher. And he was a good one. Last year he won the Gold Glove, the minor leagues. You only give one for the entire minor leagues. And Carson Kelly, a converted third baseman, won that.
Johnny Peralta's moved to the on-deck circle. Cardinals have a man up and throwing in their pen. That would be Garcia's spot if Wong can reach. What's on tap? Mike Leake, Jake Arrieta. Coverage begins at 12:30 on Friday afternoon from Wrigley Field. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Colton Wong. Check swing did not go. Wong with a really good play off the bat of Carlos Gonzalez back in the fourth. Took a hit away. But we've come to expect that, especially ranging to his left.
In my mind, he's got the most range of any of the Cardinal infielders.
That time he did go. One ball and two strikes on Wong. Chased it. Twirls around and throws his bat and helmet. Midway through 6, all Rockies. Have you with us as we take a look at our T-Mobile greater coverage of Major League Baseball. Matt Moore, the left-hander, 4-1, gets the start for the Giants. Kenta Maeda will go for the Dodgers. Bartolo Colon gets the call for the New York Mets. So we keep an eye on the wild card. Those games coming up later tonight. Giants and Dodgers, the Mets and the Braves. So Jaime Garcia will be extended at least one more inning here. He'll get Patterson, Descalso, then the pitcher's spot. And the first pitch is taken for a ball. This has been a bright spot for the Cardinals watching Garcia. He's given up just one hit. It was a base hit by LeMahieu back in the fourth. That's it out of play.
And Dan, you know, this is his fourth inning of work, and might have hit a little bit of a wall as he's made more starts this year since 2011 when he made 32 starts. With all the injuries he's had, he's thrown a lot of innings this year.
This is Cardullo at the plate, pinch hitting for Patterson. Sends a high fly ball into center. And the catch is made for the first out here in the bottom of the sixth. Brings in Daniel Descalso. Daniel was drafted, developed by the Cardinals, and in 2011, you may forget, he was a finalist for the Gold Glove at third base.
Yeah, I remember he almost a defensive specialist. Tony put him in late innings. Played so well there. That's kind of the funny thing about the heroics of David Freese in 2011, postseason. If it would have been according to the regular season, he would have been in the game because Descalso would have been playing those innings.
And Descalso was on the field for that final out. 2011, a fly ball caught by Alan Craig and left. And they all piled on Jason Mott, who's now in a Rockies uniform.
Cardinal players like Descalso have gained a reputation, and put Skip Schumacher in the same category, that they're winning players. And other clubs can't wait to get these guys to kind of like, what did you learn in the Cardinal organization, and help teach that to our young players.
Strikeout of Descalso. Fourth strikeout for Jaime Garcia. Well, don't let work get in the way of watching the Cardinals and Cubs, the afternoon game on Friday. Watch on your phone, tablet, computer, Fox Sports Go. Stream the Cardinals wherever you go. So Rusin will hit for himself. Tony La Russa said 1996 was his toughest year ever in managing. 2002, he said, was tough for so many reasons. He had lost his godfather, his father, Darryl Kyle, Jack Buck. And that 2006 and 11 were just, great memories, great seasons, but 96 and 02 were the toughest for him. 96 was his first year in St. Louis. And as he told me, he said he realized the club had gotten away from what makes the Cardinals, and how they play the game the right way. And that first half was very difficult. And he was considered the outsider coming in. And a strikeout for Garcia. He'll finish his day with 5. And the last regular season game is coming up Sunday, October 2nd, Fan Appreciation Weekend. All fans receive that magnet schedule courtesy of Shelter. Free ticket voucher for the following year, and kids under 48 inches receive a ticket to Six Flags. For good measure, it's a Prairie Farms Ice Cream Sundae. We're in the top of the 7th, and Jose Martinez will lead it off. This is our Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. This is how we started our game with an 8-minute delay, a standoff. Estevez there of the Rockies. Martinez of the Cardinals. Umpires are like, what is going on here? And a standing ovation.
Sorry. Jose Martinez won the first game of this afternoon. Now going to be a winner in the batter's box as he will pinch hit. 887 minor league games before getting the call to the big leagues.
First pitch taken for a strike.
Got his second major league hit last night. 2015, he won the Pacific Coast League batting championship with an average 384. .6'5", but he runs very well. And a key pinch running assignment in San Francisco, and he went first to third on a base hit. That was the base hit, Grichuk hit to tie the ball game, and then Colton Wong drove him in with a sac fly. That was one of Cardinals rarely run. They had 2 stolen bases in that comeback, and also a first to third running assignment were so key into that win.
Here's a 1-2 taken low. Really nice job to settle things down by Jaime Garcia. 4 scoreless innings, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed, no walks and no runs.
We thought the Cardinals would mount their comeback during that time, but maybe they'll do it here in the 7th. Cardinals, the best team in the National League, 7th inning and later is scoring.
3-2 the count on Martinez. Fights it off, and a fly ball out to shallow left may drop, and it does. Base hit, Jose Martinez.
That's Tapia, who just was inserted defensively. Ball falling in front. Because it's so big, looks like they tried to jam him. A breaking ball hits it on the end of the bat, but the outfield is so big, the ball carries here, and you'll get so many fly balls like this that will fall in between the outgoing infielders and the incoming outfielders. So great job. Maybe this is the start of the comeback.
Tapia in left field was part of the Futures game, and he's considered one of the top prospects for the Rockies in their system. Here's Carpenter, who is 1 for 3.
And so many of these young players that have been called up to the big leagues all started at Double-A this year. They must have had a heck of a team under unusual circumstances where they never played a home game.
The ballpark is about 90% completed in Hartford, and then they stopped. There was an issue with the city and with the organization. What we've been told is that they've got from about now until 2 weeks to figure this out one way or another. It's going to get figured out. They're going to play, but who's going to pay the bills and how it all plays out. But can you imagine that 6 months on the road basically for your Double-A team?
And they had to be really good because so many of these kids are all-stars at that Double-A level.
Just wear you out too.
You know, that's something that's kind of changed with the 6-year minor league free agents, and you get what we call 4A players, a guy that's maybe can be a star in AAA but not good enough for the big leagues. And so many organizations have their top prospects at the Double-A level now.
1-2 pitch to Matt Carpenter. Foul ball.
And it's also a situation too where minor league baseball has become a big business in its own right.
No doubt.
You know, great minor league ballparks that they play in, and you know, if you don't have it under the ownership of the club, you know, that owner at the minor league level wants you to win, and sometimes they forget about the most important thing is to develop.
1-2 pitch popped up and out of play. Gentleman that we talked about behind home plate is there right behind Carpenter with that hat. And I'll tell you what, that guy is right in the wheelhouse for a Jim Hayes interview.
You don't think Jimmy could? I don't know if Jimmy could pull that off.
Jimmy's had some
He's
of the best interviews we've had with fans, and I'll remember last year at the AT&T rooftop.
Yeah, it was a very colorful interview.
Very insightful. Here's a 1-2 inside. But Jimmy got to the bottom as to why fans enjoy it so much, more so than just the free food and drink and a great seat.
All inclusive and a lot of information. I heard it's on his demo tape.
Oh, yeah. It's an award winner. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. It was a classic, as that fan told Jimmy, and the Cardinals go to bat. Most runs scored 7th inning or later. Rockies are just 3 ahead of the Cardinals. Cardinals 254, 7th inning or later.
Well, let's catch up and pass them.
Here's Diaz on base twice. Third strikeout for this left-hander. Diaz struck out back in the first against Marquez. Went 5 innings. He was hit by a pitch and also singled to center. No balls and 2 strikes.
Cardinals coming up empty on that breaking ball.
He's got a little quick pitch to him, doesn't he?
Yeah. Throw off the timing of a hitter.
Here's an 0-2 pitch to Diaz. Again, an off-speed pitch. Struck him out. Don't forget to purchase a special Bud Bash theme ticket. That'll be Tuesday. Fans with the Bud Bash theme ticket get a limited edition Randy Flores bobblehead. Buy a VIP ticket. Also get access to a pregame autograph session with Randy. And tickets at cardinals.com/budbash. There are many around baseball that consider Randy Flores' first draft to be in the top 3 in all of baseball with the talent that he's acquired. And now you get a good look at it. You know, those players sign and you see a couple of months of what they have. You never know. It's a crapshoot. But once they get in uniform, you watch them at this level or professional baseball, you get a better idea.
Danny, it's got to be the toughest of all sports. You know, in baseball, and oftentimes it's a high schooler, but even a college player, you know, how to project somebody out 3, 4, 5 years. Other sports, you really have college as your minor league, you know, to really get a pretty good idea of how somebody's going to perform.
Randy has been on the road for over 200 days out of the calendar year. He said you wake up every day, you check the box scores. They're like your children, these guys you draft. You want to see how they're doing. You have a vested interest, obviously, in them and their success.
I mean, a lot of people felt Perez, the Cardinals' first draft pick, was a controversial pick. To me, it was brilliant. It was a no-brainer. Top 10 player that, because at 17 years of age, took a supplement that he didn't know what was in it. I mean, it was PED, but I'd hate to be judged on everything I did at 17.
3-1 the count here on Jerko. Cardinals picked a couple of college players too in the top 5 rounds, and those have progressed quite well along the way here early on. Jerko lost his bat, foul ball. Randy, a member of the 06 championship team, and that's been the theme on those Bud Bashes.
And how about the fact that he is the winningest pitcher in USC's history, their baseball program that had Randy Johnson, Tom Seaver, among many others.
And Randy is well educated too. To his credit, went back to college and finished up a degree. Then he got an Excel degree from that, and was a coach at USC after his playing career was through. Dancing over there at first base is Martinez.
First baseman well behind, and so Martinez had a big lead, and so the pitcher thought he could race him back to the first base bag.
I wonder if Jose told him, "Don't stare at me."
You see, the Dodgers had T-shirts with that phrase. Don't look at me.
Strikeout of Jerko. He strikes out this side, and that's 5 in 2 innings of work. Time to stretch. Rockies on top. Chevy called to the pin. He'll face Blackman, LeMahieu, and Gonzalez here at the bottom of the 7th. Dean's done a nice job, and he's done a good job in this series. You know, we're talking about attendance and how if you win here with the Rockies, they will come back. The Orioles, that's a team that's winning and has won. They've got a key showdown with the Boston Red Sox. First 2 games of that series, they've averaged just over 19,000.
And remember, at one time they were just sold out every single game for a couple of years.
That's right. We're hoping to see big crowds next week in St. Louis. Cardinals.com. Get your tickets. The pennant race. 4 with the Reds, 3 with the Pirates. I don't know if you've seen it. The numbers of Joey Votto in the second half. Unbelievable. It's a term that gets thrown out by us probably way too much. Unbelievable play. This guy's unbelievable. Well, these are numbers that are unbelievable. Yeah.
You've seen the numbers on Bryce Harper in the second half.
It's hard to understand that.
They're unbelievable too, but in the negative way.
Right.
Not healthy. A lot of people think it's an ankle injury, that, you know, he's hurt and he really can't duplicate his swing. But really fallen off. Not the MVP numbers you expect from a young player, still under his prime.
Free agent, I believe, after next season. And I think in 2 years the winter meetings will be held in Vegas, his hometown. It'll be quite the spectacle. As Blackman hits it the other way, and that's a base hit. His 3rd of the afternoon. Guy's just a good player, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And I know the Cardinals have inquired about him at different times. Also, we heard Cargo's name being mentioned at different times with. Just fights this one off and just stays fair. So he's thinking double all the way, but he knows as everybody running out there, you saw him take a look over his shoulder to see if this first baseman, who would trail a runner in that situation, see if he's at the bag to know if he had to get back real quick.
There's always somewhere for a player to go.
There really is.
Every play.
And common sense. It just.
LeMahieu 1 for 2. Sac fly, RBI number 64 back in the first. Fly to deep right center and a base hit to left. Kiefer in relief of Garcia. Today's starter Luke Weaver lasted 2 innings, gave up 6 runs on 7 hits. Garcia came in 4 scoreless innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, struck out 5 along the way. Here's a 1-1. Right center again. And off the screen in right. LeMahieu on his way to second. Changing spots with Blackman, and it's now 7-1 Rockies.
We talked about it, I think it was the first day of the series, but that might have been a home run before.
That might have. It would have been.
As they've raised the fence out there in the bullpen areas. They raised it 8 feet, and that looked like that would have snuck right over the wall.
So back-to-back doubles. And here is Cargo. Pitch misses on the inside corner. Kubota power stats with Cargo digging in. All-time home run leaders. He's 3 away from 200. Todd Helton still lives in the area, big hunter and fisherman. They say he comes out to fantasy camp. Rockies would like to get him a little bit more involved with the major league team in spring training, but he wanted to get away from the club. And he has his own burger shack. That's, Al, when you know you've made it.
Oh, yeah. And your former teammate closes it down by breaking the glass. Holiday in batting practice the first day in shattered that glass right there. They had to shut it down for the first game of the series.
Swing and a miss.
Kiefer's done a real good job on lefties. They've only batted 176 against him.
Al, this is when you know life has been pretty good to you. You're Todd Helton. You made a lot of money. They've retired your number. You're beloved in this city. You live on a great ranch. They're pitching around Arenado. And then on that ranch, you didn't realize it,
but oil.
They found oil. That's when life is really good.
Yes. But then we can't drill it. There's some kind of a environmental study that we can't take advantage of it.
They find oil on your land. So here is Parra as they pitch around Arenado. What about Hungo's hamburgers? You in for that? Fire up a.
No, I'm healthy now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to eat them. You just got to sell them.
Oh, okay.
Show up every once in a while. How about Hungo's hummus?
Closer. I wouldn't eat it either. I do kind of like that.
Could do that. Open up a nice little wine and cheese area with some hummus, all provided by Hungo.
Oh, perfect.
Here's Parra and a good breaking ball by Kiekefer.
Yeah, he's got that breaking ball, and looks, some of these very good hitters look a little foolish on it. We were both on the caravan that Kiekefer was on, and really enjoyed talking to him, and paid his dues in the minor leagues. You're happy to see him come up here and have success. I think because of, you know, Duke's got another year in his contract, and Seagrass have been so reliable that, I mean, I think you could have a third left-hander and use him more as a situational lefty.
Yeah, the way that they use Kevin is more just, hey, if we get into the 8th inning, righties or lefties, he's coming in. And
the same thing with Duke.
Sure. Up the middle and a base hit. Run will score. That makes it an 8-1 Colorado lead as the ball gets away, but not far enough for Parra to advance.
Screamer up the middle, and good thing, you know, Kiekefer, his slider frame. He had a few more pounds and he would have caught a lot more flesh.
So runners at the corners, and Mike Matheny will go to his bullpen here in the bottom of the 7th. Jonathan Bruxton, our Chevy call to the pen when we come back. Back in the 2nd inning, Nolan Arenado with a grand slam, and this is our Nissan drive of the game, his 39th home run. And he's now up to 128 RBIs. That's your Nissan drive of the game. So Jonathan Bruxton is in. I've never seen you move like that during the commercial break, Al. All these years we've worked together, I didn't realize you're such a huge fan of the Village People.
Oh, my arms are sore. I was doing the animation.
Incredible.
See, there's things you don't know about me, and I don't know about myself.
You were a huge lover of the disco scene back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Travolta and I. My white jumpsuit.
Oh, yeah. Little Saturday Night Fever. That's what I think of when I think of you, Al. Hummus and Saturday Night Fever.
Dan, it was, you know, back then it was every night. Pre-June.
Make sure you make that clarification. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Murphy pops it back foul.
I'm a little surprised that Jonathan Broxton is coming in this game. And we're not seeing one of the younger right-handers. Sokolovic, you know, Myers even, but Tuivalala. As it seems like Mike Matheny has more confidence in Broxton and bring him into an 8-1 game.
2-1 is lifted out to deep right field. This ball will carry, and it's gone. 3-run homer. Tom Murphy, that's his 5th of the year. An opposite field long home run.
Saturday, he caught Gray, who had 16 strikeouts, a franchise high, and he had 5 RBIs and a home run in that ball game. So one of the young catchers, Nick Hundley, the veteran, probably not going to be retained, and Murphy making his name out there that he wants to be the starter next year.
So it's now 11-1. There is Tapia. Took over in left field, and now his first plate appearance. Pitch taken low for a ball.
I mentioned they're very high on Tapia.
There's a lot of things they're high on here in Colorado.
Oh, yeah. Tapia was an all-star at Double-A. Hit 323 there. Hit over 300 at every stop throughout his minor league career, and that covers a span of 6 seasons.
Fly ball into shallow left, and the catch is made. So with that, there are 2 outs, and it brings in Descalso. Singleton scored the base hit into right back in the second, rounded out, and was called out on strikes. That was against Garcia. Denver, a really unique town, a lot of things to do. And I know you've enjoyed every part of it.
My room is quite comfortable.
Here's a 1-0. That's well hit. Opposite way. And Moss is there up against the wall to make the catch. It's 11-1 as we head to the 8th. Rockies on top here in Game 3. Our Chevy called to the pen. Jordan Lyles takes over. Former starter now working out of the bullpen for Colorado. Valleca takes over at third base. There are the numbers on Valleca. Congratulations to that family. Their birth of that young one back in the third.
Greg
And
Garcia
Mom is celebrating.
is going to pinch hit here.
11-1. Brandon Crawford dislocated his left pinky last night. X-rays were negative. May play through the pain. We'll see how it plays out, but that could be an X factor here in the final week or so for the Giants.
Yeah. Very good ball player, shortstop that grew up in that locale of San Francisco and big Giant fan as a youngster.
It's be interesting to watch the Giants tonight, and they're throwing a left-hander in Matt Moore. In terms of what the Dodgers do against left-handed pitching, the Dodgers hit .210 against lefties. That has been one of the aspects of their offense that they struggle with after the strikeout there of Garcia. Last night, Bruce Bochy, Cueto had to leave with a groin issue, and so he went to Okert and Smith to get 8 outs, the lefties out of his pen. So you may see that again tonight.
Pena was at the on-deck circle, and now Grichuk pops up, scheduled hitter. Give Pena a scare.
So Grichuk 0 for 3 on the day. Flied out back in the 6th. That was to left. Hit into a fielder's choice and struck out. Late with that swing. Houston trying to stay alive. They lead Oakland 4-1. Seattle also trying to stay alive. A 1-0 lead over Toronto. I don't know if you've seen the highlights from Seattle. It's almost like a home game for the Blue Jays, as they have become Canada's team.
Canada's team, and
they have packed the house at Safeco. We were there earlier this year. Great ballpark. Couple of bright spots today. The pitching of Jaime Garcia and Jose Martinez winning the stare down.
trying to decide which was more important.
There's a base hit for Grichuk. He's now reached base safely in 15 starts in a row.
Good to see him. Ever since he's come back up to the big leagues, he's been a productive bat. You just have to, going to live with his strikeouts at times, but the power potential is always intriguing. It's a 5-game hitting streak for him.
Here's Tommy Pham. Strike one. Al, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the last game that you and I will work together this year?
Yes, sir.
You'll be on pre and post?
Being pre and post.
Our 19th year together. We've had a lot of fun, and I always appreciate you putting up with me.
Oh, Danny, you're the best.
We have fun.
One of the most creative.
In a good way, I hope.
Oh, I know. I'm lost for words, but yes, it's very positive. I have the utmost respect for you and what you do in these broadcasts, and
it's fun.
What you've done with the Cardinals, and people don't realize, but Danny has produced most of the radio and spots, gotten the players to be a part of it, and I think the fans love that.
I think it's unique when you hear the players involved and they buy into what we're trying to do to sell tickets, promote the product, promote the Cardinals.
Speakers series that you came up, that was your idea. You've done a phenomenal job on that.
John Rooney and Rick Horton along with Jim Jackson back there.
They kind of look like it's an 11-1 game.
Go over there and just slap Ricky around.
Can't do that to a left-handed reliever.
On the inside corner, strikeout of Pham. You know, the radio guys have a monitor there. I think they may be watching Modern Family.
See, it is on the corner, but oftentimes you don't get that called when you're looking for a pitch outside and you catch it that way. Modern Family, huh?
Yeah. Maybe a Simpsons episode. Make sure we get to Ricky's IQ.
That won't get back to him, will it?
The minute we get on the bus. And on the bus, and then we head to Chicago. Oh, 0-2. There's Melody Young on the right. She has been with the Cardinals for a number of years in the PR department.
Alexandra is our interpreter, the Spanish-speaking players.
Alexandra Noboa, she is the interpreter for the Spanish-speaking players. 11-1. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who go the extra mile. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. (11-1). The Rockies have the lead. A disappointing afternoon. Miguel Sokolovic takes over. It's our Chevy called to the pen. Greg Garcia stays in the game. He'll play second base, and Colton Wong shifts to right.
Right field. Tommy Pham goes to left, and Ryan Pena is over at first base.
Valleca will lead it off for Colorado.
What did Jerko do wrong? He has to stay out there?
Many fans may not know we had the shot of the interpreter going to break. mandated now by Major League Baseball to travel an interpreter to help with those that do not speak English. And Eugene Koo does that for Seung-Hwan Oh. Alexandra does that for the Cardinals. Also runs the Twitter account. We have a Spanish Heritage Night coming up next week at the ballpark, and 2 of the games will be done on radio in Spanish. And Benji Molina will be the analyst for those 2 games.
That's great.
Brother of Yadier Molina.
I know Carlos Martinez, who, as you mentioned, his 25th birthday today, is starting to get very involved in the community.
He's done some great
Hispanics
things.
And
ground ball that's hit to second. That's Brian Pena at first base. There's Yadi. So Benji.
Well-deserved day off for Yadi, and with the off day tomorrow, he'll be refreshed for the rest of the season.
Always smiling, Brian Pena.
Well, see Yadi saying, hey, watch out now, this guy's going to drop down a bunt. You know, it's 11-1. You got to have a little fun. That's the advantage of when you play every day in this game. These kind of games are easily forgotten. Yeah, you're in a pennant race, but you still got to have a little humor.
Get on the plane, say goodbye to Colorado. Off day tomorrow. Enjoy Chicago. Get ready to go.
All the pitchers get healthy. They get rid of that 3-day curse, Denveritis.
It's a nasty sickness.
Oh, it's terrible. Only affects pitchers, though.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
The hitters, you know,
they fight to get in the lineup.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, the fountain of youth.
Actually saw a couple of guys tackle each other trying to go to Mike's office to get in the lineup. Get me in.
And the pitchers are going, you know, I'm a little sore today. And
I'm not sure I blame them. This is a beautiful city. If you're a free agent hitter, why wouldn't you think about coming here? If the money is right. You know, a good example would be the ball that Cargo hit last night to center. And a ball that Grichuk looked to be under it. It was hit hard, but it just kept going. And you see that over the 3 games where line drives that normally are caught, they just have a little extra carry to them at this ballpark.
You know, it's gotten better since they started treating the balls in the humidor. But what was it, back at the height of the steroid era? They had 303 home runs hit in this ballpark.
303. That was with some pretty good hitters in their primes too.
Yeah.
Larry Walker and Todd Helton. Vinny Castilla put up big numbers. Andres Galarraga.
Yeah, we're not saying any of those guys were doing anything. It's just the ball flies here approximately 10% further.
Popped up by Blackman. So be Diaz who makes the catch. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Christian Adames. First plate appearance with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. 11-1 Colorado. Ball 1. Cardinals just cannot get to that 10 games above 500 mark.
How many times have we seen too that, you know, they win the first 2 games of a series and then they can't pull off the sweep?
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Good to see that Chumley from Pawn Stars made his way to the ballpark.
Very good.
Yeah, we had Dog the Bounty Hunter a few weeks ago. Oh, Brian Pena, cat-like. 11-1, Rockies. Rockies have the lead. Brian Pena makes it final play in the bottom of the 8th. Hard hit ball. And what happens when you make this type of play? High fives and hugs all around. Alberto Rosario will be the hitter. We're here in the 9th.
So this is spring training, huh?
Let's see. Dahl is in left now. Blackman stays in the game. Tapia is in right. Adames, there's your changes. Adames at third. Descalso at short. Valleca is at second. Parr at first. Murphy behind the plate. Rosario, nice play. Parra. And there's one away.
Like I said, they're still trying to find out if Parra can play first base, and plays like that, I'm sure Walt Weiss feels pretty comfortable with it.
He took a lesson or two from Brian Pena. Here's Matt Adams, homered in game 1 of this series.
City pitching last night's ball game, and Walt Weiss was very impressed with him. One of their young relievers, had 31 saves at Double-A before going to the Triple-A.
3 infielders on the right side in the 0-1 pitch. You ever watch Pawn Stars?
Yeah, that's why I knew who exactly you were talking about.
It's a heck of a show.
Learned a lot. How's my Twitter account coming?
Working on it. Three and one. Marquez, his first ever start in the big leagues, and it looks like he will pick up a win. Three-one pitch to Adams. Hits it the other way. Blackman on the move. He won't get there. One hopper off the wall and a double off the bench for Matt Adams.
That is something that Matt has shown through his young career, that he is an outstanding pinch hitter.
Nolan Arenado is our Budweiser player of the game. 2 for 3. Grand slam. Couple of runs scored and also drew a walk. Made a terrific play racing in on a ball and showed off his arm too defensively. Switch hitting Brian Pena.
A lost season for Pena, isn't it?
Yeah. Knee surgery. As he taps it towards first, Parra steps on the bag and Adams advances to third with 2 outs.
It was only Pena's 11th at bat of the year.
You know, to me, of concern in this game, some of the at bats by Diaz. He has not looked comfortable. See if we can pick up on something here in his final plate appearance.
Well, you missed 36 ball games with the fractured thumb. You know, with the stem he's been getting, you know, it looks like it may be a little bit of his arms, but that you're thinking of that more defensively.
Strike one.
I think we just have to go look at the first half and second half of Yadier Molina after having the thumb surgeries. First half, you know, he's out there, but, you know, didn't have the arms or hand strength. And in the second half, it looked like he regained that full strength after having 2 surgeries, and he's been an outstanding hitter. You know, one of the best second halves we've seen.
Probably put Peralta in that conversation
and I
too.
talked to Peralta. He said, my thumb doesn't hurt anymore, but I just don't have the hand strength, you know. Holiday, you know, trying to get back, had the pin inserted so he would have a chance to come back during the regular season, but every time he hits, then the thumb swells up, and that's just on coach pitch. They're wondering what would happen, you know, with the guy throwing 95 and above.
Sure. 2-1 the count on Aledmys Diaz. 3-1. Jerko on deck. Chopper off the plate, hustling, and got him. So the Rockies salvage a game in this series, a final of 11-1.
Well, tough day for the Cardinal pitching, but enjoy the off day tomorrow in Chicago and then put on a tremendous push, go into postseason for the 6th consecutive season.
11-1 the final. Post-game show coming up with Scott Warman, Jim Edmonds. You know those two. That tandem, they'll have you entertained.